Today's episode is sponsored by Don'tDrinkMyJuice.com. If you vape, you're going to want this juice. It's premium shit at a great price, totally customizable to your glycol preference, tons of flavors. I got some of them in front of me right here, like Orange Dream Cake and Watermelon Thunder. And this one's called Malk. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's got a picture of, I don't even know what the picture's of, but goddammit, it's Malk. Get these and many other flavors available at Don'tDrinkMyJuice.com. This vape here is loaded up with Purple Cow right now. I'm gonna take a big old hit of that. It's pretty fucking great. If you're looking for some great e-juice at a reasonable price, check out Don'tDrinkMyJuice.com and enter coupon code TJK to save an additional 15% on your already inexpensive purchase. And make Don't Drink My Juice your go-to shop for e-juice because it's legit. Link in the description. Supporting my sponsors helps to support this channel. Now on with the show. Much as I love that e-juice, though, there's no substitute for one of these death-causing cancer apparatuses right here. Oh, yeah. I'm just a slave. A slave to this shit. Remember Terrence Howard? He was in the first Iron Man movie, but they later replaced him with John Cheadle because he sucked. And now he's on that show on Fox, Empire, which I've never seen, but I also assume it fucking sucks. Anyway, remember him? Well, on top of being an apparent joy to work with, he's also a mathematical genius of the highest caliber. He's even figured out how fucking bubbles work. Fucking bubbles! How do they work?
Since I was a child of 3 or 4, I always wondering, why does a bubble take the shape of a ball? Why not a triangle or a square? I figured it out. If Pythagoras was here to see it, he would lose his mind. Einstein, too. Tesla.
Ah, yes. Finally, the solution to the soapsud paradox. We thought math would never solve it, but finally it has. I mean, some liars have claimed that bubbles are round because surface tension pulls molecules of water into the tightest possible groupings, and the tightest possible grouping around a pocket of air is a sphere. But those people who believe that are fucking idiots. They don't know what's what. Terrence Howard knows what's what, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? Terrence's bubble theorem, that's just scratching the fucking surface. He's got answers to far more profound questions than why is a bubble round. Let me ask you this. What is 1 times 1? A lot of morons have been going around saying 1. But no. Terrence is here to show us the truth. 1 times 1 equals 2.
How can it equal 1? If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be.
Now, I'm no math expert, but let's try something out. The square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 equals 9. So if we have 3 rows of 3 things, that's 9 things altogether. Terrence mentions that the square root of 4 is 2. Now that's right, because if you have 2 rows of 2 things, you have 4 things. And then he says that we're told that the square root of 2 is 2. Which, no, we're not told that because, once again, 2 is the square root of 4. The same number can't be the square root of 2 different things. That's not how it works. So as to your main thesis that 1 times 1 is 2, let's take a look. If we have 1 row of 1 things, that totals 1 thing. But you know what, Terrence? I want to thank you. I'm terrible at math, so it feels good that there's someone out there like you that I can be condescending towards on this subject. And just for the record, I don't think Terrence Howard is stupid. I think he's insane. But more power to him. All the best people are crazy, or so I'm told. Okay, so a piece of propaganda about the wearying and tedious subject of privilege has been making the rounds on social media. It's got 27 million views on Facebook alone. And a lot of people are suggesting that if you don't understand the concept of privilege, then you need to watch this video. So let's take a look.
Take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married. Take 2 steps forward if you grew up with a father figure in the home.
Okay, so you line up a bunch of people and tell them they can take 2 steps forward for every statement that applies to them. And the first 2 are, take 2 steps forward if your parents are still together, and take 2 steps forward if you grew up without a father figure in the home. Okay? The weird thing is that liberals used to shit all over the idea that a father at home was of any value at all when the issue was gay marriage. But now that the issue has changed, the facts have of course changed to fit it. And now, not growing up with a father is a detriment in life, a huge one too. But I have to admit, it does suck that society made those kids' parents split up and made their dads not stick around, because we all know that their parents wanted to stay together and their fathers wanted to stick around, but unfortunately, society had other plans. All right, I'll drop the sarcasm. The real deal is this. Having your parents stay together and having a father that loves you, that's not a privilege bestowed or denied to you based on an unjust society. It's a direct result of the life choices of your parents. The rest of the statements are all directly pertinent not to race, but to wealth. They're questions like, take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private school, or if you never had to help your parents pay the bills. So if this video was meant to demonstrate that rich people are advantaged over poor people, then it succeeded in showing us all something we already knew. If it was trying to demonstrate white privilege, and that's what I'm assuming it's trying to do every time it shows a close-up of this black guy's face looking dejected at how far behind he is, then it failed. It's fine that so many people are impressed with it, I guess, but I'm not. Here, play a little hypothetical game with me for a second. Imagine a rich black kid and a poor white kid running this race. I'm going to make all the statements, and you just tell me who wins the race. So keep hypothetical rich black kid, hypothetical poor white kid in your mind. Take 2 steps forward if your parents are still married. Take 2 steps forward if you grew up with a father figure in the home. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to private education. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a free tutor. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to help your mom and dad with bills. Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability you didn't have to pay for college. Take 2 steps forward if you never had to worry about where your next meal comes from. Who won? Don't bother answering. We all already know. Now let's focus for a second on statement number 7. Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability you didn't have to pay for college. Fuck you. Not having to pay for college is a privilege whether you got it for athletic ability or not. Last I checked, an athletic scholarship probably moves you 2 steps forward in the game of life. You motherfuckers who make this sort of crap are lucky most people never ever question your bullshit, because it fails and falls apart completely when you place it under the least little bit of fucking scrutiny. These questions fail to account for wealth, they fail to account for personal choices, and they intentionally treat athletic scholarships like they're not an advantage in life by discounting them in the privilege measuring contest, with no basis for doing so. Now, am I saying, by the way, that there aren't advantages to being white in America? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they're not demonstrated by this cheesy piece of propaganda that all the morons across the internet are so fucking infatuated and impressed with. New topic, though. Hypocritical left, at Eminem included, can't say black or yellow. That's racist. But leftist idiots think it's fine to call Trump orange. So first of all, who can't say black? I've never in my life been called out for calling a black person black. Calling an Asian person yellow is more offensive because they don't call themselves that. But Trump's orange complexion, that's not his fucking race. It's a result of too much spray-on tan. He wasn't born orange from a pair of orange parents. He's actually a pasty white motherfucker who sprays orange shit on himself because he thinks it looks like a tan. He also thinks his hair looks good. So when people call Trump orange, they're not disparaging his race, they're disparaging him personally, and they're not dragging other people into it, unless those people also use spray-on tans and think they look good, in which case, it's probably a good thing that they're finally learning the dark truth that they look like overgrown fucking Oompa Loompas. And they can finally just give up and be their natural, milky white fucking selves. Stop calling it rape culture. There's nothing intellectual, artistic, or collectively human about achieving the status of rapist. All right, I'm just going to ignore that a grown woman who doesn't know the meaning of the word culture is trying to tell me how to conduct myself. I wonder how people pre-20th century survived without health care. Oh wait, they didn't need health care, lol. What? Why not? Was everyone perfectly healthy back then? What about the Black Death? What about doctors leeching patients because they thought leeches would cure most ailments? What about bloodletting? What about all the crazy shit doctors tried before they actually had anything figured out? People got sick and died all throughout human history. Back then, healthcare wouldn't save you. You had to rely on luck. And as luck would have it, this video actually has two sponsors. The other one is RAVENDALE by Jaymes Romero, a science fiction book about a city in the sky where everyone can fly, but no one knows why, except for a genius inventor named Summer Green who is close to uncovering the city's hidden secret. If you're looking for a quirky read by a frankly strange author, this may be what you're looking for. Link is in the description, and that does it for Triggered for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it around. I'll be eternally grateful. So grateful, I'll do anything. Anything. And don't forget to catch me on the Drunken Peasants tonight and every Monday night. I'm TJ Kirk. Peace the fuck out.